You got DS1 for DS1.LIVE radio station coming to you live from the studios in Richmond, Indiana. Christian music all the time. Hey, we got some guests in the house. We got Bell's Foxfire in the house. We're going to do a live interview with them and let everybody know kind of what they do. So we're going to start with you. Come on in here.
Man,
and let's start out. What made you guys do what you decided to do?
Well, honestly, as far as me, it was Kevin. Kevin started it.
Kevin started it.
Yes.
Well, that's a good thing, you know. When Kevin starts something, you always finish it, right?
Yeah, well, something like that.
Well, a lot of the viewers out there that I had comments from wanted to know, what did the fuel taste like when you do it?
Oh, that's for Dylan.
Yeah.
Wax.
Go up here and tell him.
Tastes kind of like wax. It's like a coating on the inside of your mouth.
It doesn't have a taste. It's tasteless.
It tastes like wax.
So I'm assuming that if you blow up.
They used to use it as the main ingredient for laxative for the longest time, but they don't anymore.
I could see it could give you the craps real quick. Anyway, okay, let's move on. What I'd like to know is your routines. Who makes the routines?
It's definitely not like a choreographed thing. We're all flow artists, so the point of that is just to let it flow out of you as naturally as it comes.
I noticed when you twirl the baton, or the fire on all the sticks, you're just so graceful with it. You know, it's like it just flows right out of you.
I just kind of, I don't know. A lot of it is free flow. We just go with the feel of the song and try to listen for cues. That's why we use a lot of the same music repetitively. It's repetitive for us, not so much for the audiences, you know.
Camera.
Oh, sorry.
So
that's all right.
As far as like the tricks and stuff, we've learned what would be called the tech of each prop. So there are specific moves that you drill and practice and practice and practice, and then you take those moves and you just let that flow. It's not something that we're just like, man, I'm naturally great at doing this thing that no one's ever seen before. No, we've learned from professionals and then turn it into us.
Your name's Kevin?
Yep.
Okay.
You come over here so the microphone can hear you talk a little bit.
Kevin needs
What I'd like to know is how many times have you hit yourself in the head with those balls?
Well, quite a bit, honestly. Definitely a lot of head-on collisions during practices, just in general, with each of us. We actually used to have a clicker for the number of times that we would get hit during practices. Our top number was like 115.
115?
And those between like 4 people, so.
And your name is?
Brent.
Brent.
Yes.
When you do the fire thing up the arm, how many times have you caught all your hair on fire? I notice you don't have very much hair on your arm.
Every time
is the answer. Every time.
Every time. How many times I noticed that when you was doing the whip thing, you caught the back of your shirt on fire and your hand slid around and put it out.
Did you see it in the video?
Yeah,
Oh, you haven't seen
your
the video.
hand just slid automatically around and put it out. That was pretty cool. I didn't know if you knew that or if. Or did you feel it happen, or what was the deal?
Honestly, I didn't know. I didn't feel it, but it's always good to like get into the habits of those kind of precautions, especially behind you.
Yeah, I would see that. I noticed there was nobody around with water. Is that?
We did have a safety on hand, but water is
dangerous.
the opposite of what you would want. And
the props, the Kevlar wicks, they don't handle water very well.
I could see that.
And some of the fuel we use is oil-based.
Yeah,
so
oil floats on water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why we always have at least one trained fire safety out there with a safety blanket. And we use the Adam made a safety blanket. He's all the way from Georgia. He makes these blankets out of Nomex, same material they make military flight suits and stuff like that out of. Race car drivers, suits, everything. The thread in it is all Nomex. Even the reflective tape is Nomex. It's the best blanket money can buy. And
so how did you guys discover each other? That's the thing.
Fate.
Fate.
True love.
True love. Oh, when you combine fate with true love, man, you got a combination that's just does, I don't know, blows you away.
Well, no, I knew Kevin and Brent in high school, kind of. And then I met Dylan because I'm a tattoo artist, and so I tattooed him. And then all of our friends, I mean, when you're just this awesome, you kind of radiate towards each other. There's no avoiding it.
There's nothing in that can flow a different way, huh?
I mean, I guess for us at the beginning, it was more of like I started spinning poi and was like, I need friends that want to do this. And I asked my buddy Jeremiah, and he was like, well, these guys want to learn. And I'm like, we'll bring them over. And then Jeremiah left for a little while, and then these two, they stuck around, and I was like, okay, cool.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, what, 5 years
Well, I
ago?
think you guys do a fine job. I mean, it's like you're pretty graceful at what you do, and it's very entertaining. And you know, I've had some negative feedback as well as some positive feedback, but I've had more positive than negative.
I want to know what these negative people got to say.
Well, you know, some things you can talk about over the air, and some things you
Yeah,
can't.
I bet $20 says none of them can spit a flame out of their mouth 15 foot long.
No, I bet they can't either, but they could probably spit it out of their butt. I mean, you know, you really want to look at it. But anyway, let's see. I'm trying to think here. If you guys got something you want to add, just feel free to jump in.
Let's talk about King's
Well,
Island,
right
Dylan.
now I'm performing at King's Island at their Halloween haunt with the Blood Drums every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're doing 4 sets on Friday, 4 sets on Saturday at 8:30, 9:30, 11, and 12. And then on Sunday we do 3 sets, one at 4, one at 5:30, and one at 6:30. And I'll be performing with them all the way up, all season, every weekend until the end of their Halloween, King's Island's Halloween haunt.
Cool.
And then these two have a bonfire birthday party on Saturday.
Birthday party on Saturday. Then we're performing for a church in Greenville.
It's a circus theme.
Yeah, it's a circus themed church event in Greenville.
What's the name of the church? You know.
I'm not sure. I know the guy's name's Eric. His name's Eric. I'm not sure the name of the church actually.
Google the address.
Currently, Bales is in charge of like booking our gigs and stuff like that.
Well, I definitely enjoyed having you guys here. I mean, it was, yeah, I mean, you know, my wife wasn't going to come out, but, you know, she came out and stayed through the whole thing.
Sweet.
And there was my buddy, he was like Carl. I think you met him, Carl and Kim, the girl that talks a lot.
Yeah, they stuck around and chatted with us for a while.
Yeah, well, Carl, you know, he was really blown away. He said this was totally unexpectable. He said that it blew him away. He said he wasn't expecting that at all.
That's the thing, like, you know, being in a small town, you would think, I don't know, I feel like I always thought more people knew what we were doing, but we keep running into more and more people that have never seen it. They're just mind blown. They don't know what the heck is that. It's
that's what it was. It was like,
we're really trying to get more local control, so more people locally see us and know who we are and know what we're doing.
And it's not only for, like, our benefit. Like, yeah, we can book parties, we can book gigs. If you have, like, an event coming up at your, like, a church or a company party and they want performers to come in, hands down we can do that. But as far as local, like, we also want, this is something, I never had an option to do any of this as a kid, you know, growing up. I didn't find flow arts until I was 23. And so we're trying now, we're starting a new thing. Quit looking at me.
I noticed you guys give each other the look and make each other nervous. I think that's what it is.
So plug.
No, it's right. Like, we're starting new business. Called.
Yeah, what is this deal you was talking about earlier about the young kids?
So it's gonna be called Little Foxes. It's all of us. By the way, hey, you're gonna help teach too. Hey.
Doesn't pay well.
Kevin, yeah, it doesn't pay a whole lot, but
Well, that's like this radio station. It don't pay at all, but
yeah,
you know, it costs me.
right.
Think about it. Once they begin.
But we're trying to. What we want to do is teach kids. You know, like give these kids an outlet without fire till they're trained
to
enough, old enough, parent consent, all that. You know what I mean? There's hoops you're gonna have to jump through.
Literal
But
hoops.
right, we do have hula hoops. You can jump. No, but so we're gonna make child-size props that are the exact same things that we have and teach them how to use it. You know, like I met a couple people who it just kind of really hit me that anytime you put a kid in, let's say a 5-year-old who has this desire, example, cheerleading, so they're super cheerleader, and then they just excel and they go and just make a huge name for themselves, because if you start something that young, you're just a sponge and you're gonna soak in anything you're interested in. And so we want to give them something new to be interested in. You know, you're not gonna get your hands on these things in a school gymnasium.
Oh, no.
You're never gonna have an organized sports event. You know, it's not like something, we can't do competitions or anything, but we can teach them a different art form. I mean, that's really what
And
it is.
potentially when they become, reach a certain age and get over the age of 18 and can start performing,
It
I'm
makes
more
money.
I'm more than happy to also take them under the wing and help book gigs for them and teach them how to get their own gigs and stuff like that. It's what it's all
If you
about.
need a training grounds, I got the perfect land for y'all to do it.
Well, I've got a plan up here for something I'm gonna build, complete with a circus tent and everything. So
Yeah, so we've got some
It's a long
places in
story.
mind.
Another
Ideally,
time.
we want to get started as soon as possible. You know what I mean? We want to try and we got to get the money together and make these props, and then we need to find an indoor location because weather is just too fickle. We've got winter coming. I don't want any weather related thing to put a damper on these kids
And
getting
if we-
to
and
do
if we
this,
wait-
because
if-
it is fun.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if we wait until after the winter, we feel like we're gonna lose steam with it, and it's not gonna have the same velocity that it has right now.
Something I know of, the church I go to is Journey Life Center up here where the old Pleasant View School building used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a huge gym that is not being used.
Well, hey, best buddy old pal.
That's what I'm thinking,
we would only
I'm
need
sure,
it one night a week, like
Yeah,
what we say,
once
like
a
Thursday
week, about
nights.
an hour.
Well, they let guys come in and play basketball. They got people come in and run around the gym, stuff like that.
Our only thing really, I mean, we're just gonna have to find the right place that's, located local. It has to be local, that people aren't gonna travel to come try this brand new thing they have no idea about. That's what I'm worried about. That, and like we said to them previously, it doesn't pay very much. Yeah, we are gonna charge like $5 a kid. Maybe this is all pending. Don't quote me on this. But we're thinking $5 a kid per each day.
That's provided that we can find a location that's going to be free or almost free. And that $5
I'll work on that.
$5 a day, what that money goes to is literally, it's going to split down the middle. Half of it goes to making more props. The other half goes right to the teachers.
Right.
And it's
because we are putting, and they are putting their time into, you're going to take your time out of your day to be with kids and teach kids. Now, I've coached soccer for a few years now, and we have our own kids even, it's not like that's a super problem, but it's not a babysitting service, but we are going to have your kids, so I think $5 is a fair. And then I don't know.
I got a granddaughter that's 2 years old. Do you think you might just take her for $5 a day?
All right, just an hour for $5.
No, I'm talking all day.
No, sorry.
class is only 1 hour.
Right. But so I don't know. It gives them. I don't know. We're fronting the money out up front to pay for making all these props, to put it in their hands, to give them the opportunity to do it. And then they would have the option later, if they want to buy them and take them home and keep practicing, you can, you know what I mean? But it is going to be something that a cost would come with that also, because it's not free to make. And so we'll just, it's not that we're trying to make money. That's not what this is about. It is just for putting this new art in the world for the children.
I'll tell you something else
It's
about the
also-
whip thing. I'm going to tell you a story. Back when I was 6, 7 years old, my dad had a 10-foot bullwhip. And I went outside and I didn't have a shirt on, and I said, can I crack that? And he said, no. Finally, he put it in my hand and let me do it. I put an X on my back.
Yeah,
I
we're
went
not
right,
put-
I
no
went
kids
right
X.
in and told my mom Dad done it. She came out there and all I heard was, but.
And he said, I was ornery. It takes one to know one.
There ain't no kidding.
Well, that definitely does bring up an excellent point for us to make. I mean, what we do, we are trained professionals. We have all put in the time, energy, effort, and investments in making this a career path.
Yeah, I can see that in your performances. So,
And not to mention the program that we have planned out for the Little Foxes is it's a 3-step, gradually increasing program. It starts out with the basics of staff. It's one prop. You got 2 hands. You got 1 prop. There, it doesn't get any more simple than that. Then after they get well versed enough with that staff, then we can move them on to poi, which is the balls on the strings. That's 2 items, 2 hands. It's a little bit more complex. It's the next level, you know. And then after that, you even got, you know, the 3rd level, which would be juggling, which is 3 balls, 2 hands. So it's more props in your hands than you have hands, and it's getting that hand-eye coordination and that speed. And once they have all 3 of those, that is when we would start working on.
Eye openers.
Yeah, those all the other props will merge together with those.
oh yeah,
Now,
I could see it actually working out. I really do. I think it's got a lot of promise and a lot of
Right.
interest. I mean, you know, just in, you know, the kids that I don't think there's very many here the next door. And I guess he told his father that he wished he could do something like that.
Well, you can!
Yeah. I
Call
know.
Bales Fox Fire at 765. no, I'm just kidding.
You should have kept going. You know.
977-9990. You got it.
Well, you ain't said much, so get to saying.
Bale's just talking about props, and not everybody's going to know what a prop is. Now, a prop is like a staff, juggling balls, a whip, you know, anything that we manipulate in the art form.
Hula hoop,
Hula hoop,
the levy wands,
you know, any of the.
definite.
It's any tool
The wall
that we
was
use
farther away than I
as an
expected.
extension
Sorry,
of
I went to
ourselves
lean on it.
to-
It was like, whoa.
kind of create our stories while we're performing.
You could
Boy.
even use scarves.
Yeah, you could use.
Anything
I
can
could
be a
see
prop.
anything you can
Yeah.
use for that.
So, you know,
You know, I thought of you. I said, what about juggling skulls?
As long as I can soak
Me.
them, as long as we can soak them in like lighter fluid and set them on fire.
lighter fluid. Don't be
No,
that
no,
is,
actually,
you don't
don't
use
do
lighter
that.
fluid.
No, do not do
Hands
that.
down, never.
Never.
Let's scratch that one and
Yeah.
we'll move on to the next subject. I'm going to make some noise here. I got to turn the air back on. It's just getting way too warm in here.
It is
Well,
all
there's
set.
5 people in here.
And there's lights. Oh my God.
So what is your dislikes about about what you do?
The
What-
danger.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that my favorite thing is the most dangerous. Fire breathing is hands down. I mean, it's
Every time you breathe fire, you are technically putting yourself at risk of chemical pneumonia, of dying, of catching on fire. It takes
yeah, if
a
you
lot
ever
of
breathed any of that into your lungs, you would.
You're in the
Yeah.
hospital within the hour.
Well, not to
Yeah.
mention the prolonged effects that, you know, some of our teachers are looking at right now,
Yeah.
where
dental problems.
dental
heavily.
problems, you know, even
chemical pneumonia,
ingested like
causing long-term breathing problems, even developing allergies to the fuel that we use for eating and breathing.
Well, like, you know, allergy makes me think of, you know, that fuel when you spray it out as a fire breather. It's gonna drip down. That fuel on your skin will give you chemical dermatitis. So it'll, you know, dry
I
your
might,
skin
I might
out.
have some.
Like
Do I?
no, don't
I
get
don't.
indecent.
I'm not. I'm just showing like right here to see if there's anything.
Clavicle.
No, I notice you guys
It's only
wipe a
nice.
lot, so that's
Yeah.
Oh,
a,
you
that's a
have
good
to.
idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you have to, or else
It
you're
is
going
a
to catch on
flammable
fire.
liquid.
Yeah.
So.
And even just holding the fuel in your mouth, your mouth absorbs some of that fuel every time you have it in there.
That is. That
Did you
makes me
know
think,
that
like,
most
fire
of the
eating.
blood vessels that you have are underneath your tongue, and
I
that
don't think it ever goes
that-
under my tongue. Does it go under your tongue? Ah,
I
take it.
put a lot of fluid in my mouth.
Yeah.
I hate poo.
yeah, I see you, man. You're up there tipping that stuff like you're
It doesn't
drinking
come
it.
out fast enough
No, it
sometimes.
doesn't.
That's why you kind of have to bounce the bottle. It kind of looks weird, but
No, see, I,
He was on it.
you made it weird. I didn't make it weird.
You
That was
made
a
it
bottle.
Well, I'm so glad you guys got to come in and do this live interview. You know, there's more people that would like to know about what you guys do and how you do it and why you do it and things like that. So we got a pretty good idea about how things run within the group. I think that it's a perfect thing for young kids to learn, and you know, it would probably even keep them out of the drug scene and getting in trouble in the streets.
Right.
It teaches
Keep them
discipline.
active
And
too.
discipline, and you know,
Right,
build
get
up their
them
muscles
outside.
doing stuff, and getting outside, getting away from, you know, the average, you know.
Right. Like, okay, so I don't like to play soccer or baseball or volleyball or any of those things, but what is this? You know, like in high school, I was a weird kid. I did not play organized sports. I like to play. I'm a kid, but I didn't want to be on those teams, and I feel like this is just another door. It is open to the weirdos and the not weirdos.
Hey, you gotta be weird somewhere or another in order to make it in this
Look at
world.
us, man! What is this?
I actually don't look that weird
Physical
today.
activity.
You don't. You're in work shirt.
Gets kids off the video games for a little bit and
Yeah.
outside playing.
Let's kids be kids again.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
that's true. That's true. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody come up and say their name and what you do.
You're first, because you're right there. You
Yeah,
got this.
Kevin.
Fine, I'll go first. I'm Bales Fox. I'm the founder of Bales Fox Fire.
What?
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 For real? Are you? Like, that's
It used to say captain, now it says founder.
He's the
and-
pretty face.
Yeah, I usually don't do much talking. I leave that to.
You didn't say what you did.
He's a fire breather.
I breathe fire. I spin poi, dragon staff, contact staff, levy wand, rope dart, goblin.
There has to be more. I think that's it.
Technically fire eating too.
Yeah.
I mean, I started
Oh,
working.
no,
with
no,
you
no,
on
no, no. You guys
fleshing.
missed it. At Kings Island, I took the levy wand, put the entire flame in my mouth, wrapped around, almost completely closed onto the levy wand, and then took it out, and it was still on fire. Didn't burn myself at all.
That's called a
Beautiful.
live draw
It was
or
beautiful.
a collection. Okay. let's see.
I'm
Anyway.
Caitlin. I'm Bales Fox's wife,
Lady Fox.
Lady Fox. I'm also a tattoo artist. Hey.
Lady Fox
hey,
tattoos.
Hey. Plug. But yeah, no, I breathe fire also, not a lot. Cause you asked what your least favorite thing is. Breathing fire. It's very scary. Don't try it at home.
You're dangerous.
Don't try it at all.
No, don't try it at all. You know?
Don't
So,
try any of this at home.
Leave it to him to do it. You know.
Breathe fire. My main prop is a staff. I do spin poi a little bit and levy wand. Those are my main comfortable props. I mean, I fart around with the dragon staff, but that's it. I've had hula hoops, but I don't know. The thing with this little foxes is I feel like it's gonna push me to learn more to teach them.
That's right.
So
That's
so
right.
that's I'm
That's
looking
why I
forward to that.
became as good as I am, because these two right here became way better than me almost instantaneously.
And you're like, can't
And
let
I
this
went-
happen.
Oh man!
You know,
Wait a
the
minute.
thing I noticed about these two guys, when you weren't out front doing something, they always was ready to get into it.
Oh,
and-
They
absolutely.
are not
Oh, yeah.
afraid of the rotation.
No.
I will wait until they make me go out. Like burning in front of people it's a little intimidating.
The hard part is usually figuring out who starts.
Yeah, I'll go first
But
because
really,
I'm not the greatest.
I think starting out with the small goblin that we do start out with isn't so bad. It's
Goblin is dumb.
she dislikes the goblin.
I hate the
Absolutely.
goblin.
The thing that
I
I
like you.
opened up with for the show we had here.
It's
You don't like
dumb.
it?
It's
Oh.
dumb.
No,
Really?
honestly, I think it would be a good
I'm
prop to breed
spinning the
with
goblin right now.
because it gives you something small to manipulate while you're doing
Breathing.
these big intense
Exactly.
spurts.
Exactly. It's
It's an
stupid
animation.
by
Alright,
itself.
you get up here.
Go, Kevin.
Who
It's
you
a
are?
good
What do you do?
opener.
I'm Kevin or Shadow. I
Parentheses Fox.
Yeah.
Fox. I spin staff, saber, rope dart, whip. What else do I spin? Levy wand,
Who?
poi, kind
Did
of
you say
hoop.
rope dart? Did you also?
Yeah.
Did you also
Oh,
plug
yeah.
it?
Oh, I am also an instructor for the Rope Dart Academy.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. He taught at
I-
Slam in Georgia.
Yeah, they paid him
Yeah,
to
I've
go to play.
Taught in Georgia, Ohio. I've shot videos up and down the East Coast. Yeah.
Kevin's the best. Woo!
Kevin's the
Once you
cat.
got the best, why mess with the rest?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, get in there,
Text.
Bubba.
Well, Brent or Speaker. There's a long story behind that one.
It's not because
Uh,
he talks a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not because I talk a lot.
Nope.
But I do fire eating, fire breathing, I do some staff. I play with whips. What else?
Juggling.
I don't
forgot
You
juggling.
do-
I don't juggle.
I was gonna say,
I
oh,
don't
I
juggle.
juggle. Crap.
Yeah.
Sorry,
juggle.
Big
Those
Nasty.
two juggle.
Oh, Big Nasty's not here. We didn't even talk
Oh, well,
about
you
Big
kind of
Nasty.
juggle.
Also, Big Nasty the Juggler, one of the most amazing jugglers around. Sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead. Hang on. Brent, you finish, and then we'll put Big Nasty in
Then
here.
we'll plug.
Stop playing with my life.
No, it's all wonky. I'm trying to press it flat.
I said whip.
Whip making.
Oh yeah, I also make whips, along with Shadow. I'll teach you fire eating too.
Yeah, well, not until you're
Only if
over
you're
18.
hungry.
It is dumb.
It is dumb.
very dumb to do.
It's
Fire
one of the
eating,
dumbest
fire
things
breathing
you'll ever
are
do.
both. You should not do it.
Don't do it ever.
Hands down.
But if you are going to do it with a
Professionally.
Learn
with a
from a
professional
professional.
instructor.
And make sure you're near a lake. You know, you
No.
can dive in, you know, and go.
Phew.
By the time you're diving in, it's too late.
Look, your form better be perfect on that dive. Like, no exceptions.
I heard that stuff burns underwater. I don't know.
And it's white gas. So
All right.
right
Okay.
now.
Well, anyway, you guys heard it from the best. You got DS1 for DS1.LIVE radio station, and then we're going to come to a close. So I wish these guys major luck with the young ones, and I hope it goes good, and that it does teach and show people that, you know, this stuff is for real and it's fun. So we'll catch you later on. Everybody say bye.
Bye!
We'll catch you in the flip side. We're gone.